If you're in a town of 100,000 or less, or maybe even $250,000 or less, and you've been playing around with this for 18 months, 3 years or more, you're going to get redone, have custom stuff done, great content, domain authority citations, Google My Business work, all sorts of things done regularly, blogging, and it's going to go boom, and things are going to go in the top 10. Lots of keywords will go into the top 3, and this will happen within 90 days or less, and you'll begin to get happy relatively quickly. So that's for somebody that's got some sort of base established, and essentially Google already likes you well enough. They don't love you enough. You are where you deserve to be based upon how they've graded you. We do lots of detailed, skilled work on various things, which you can go into in lots of other videos and podcasts that we do. And again, design, content, social media. You do integrated work on your Google My Business account, Google Map postings, regularly changing content, deep dive authoritative blogging, tons of great content up front. It'll immediately get spidered and indexed for tons of stuff you never had before, and then tons of credit and credibility that you never had before. Hey there, it's Nolan. I'm going to talk about something that's on everyone's mind when we talk to them, even if they don't ask it. How long does it take new HVAC websites to rank? So when we get calls at HVAC webmasters, get this question all the time. And I'm going to break down multiple scenarios to explain this to you. So let's say you're in one of the, well, first off, I want to say this. The answer is not the most negative thing that I say here, because everybody tinges on that. There is business to be had on secondary keyword terms, even in major markets. So let's explain this. I'm going to explain a large market, medium size, and a small market. So let's say you're in a town of 1 million or more and you're brand new. If you're already existing, everything erodes and it's much easier. I'm going to do two. I'll do the older one first. So let's say you've been online for a while. You've been messed around by SEO company after SEO company that not doing a good job. And they keep telling you that they're going to do work, and you get sold this stuff. What usually happens is that almost no work is done in the first place, and it's done very poorly. So duplicate content, no content, shallow content. You have custom designs that are up there. Template designs, we do custom, and the code base is poor. They give you a little something, and then in a little report, you talk to them every once in a while, but you can basically tell that nothing's worked on. However, it's been up there, a little's been done here and there, you're getting some reviews here and there. You're poised to do very well very quickly. So that's the good news for you. If you're in a town of 100,000 or less, or maybe even $250,000 or less, and you've been playing around with this for 18 months, 3 years or more, you're going to get redone, have custom stuff done, great content, domain authority citations, Google My Business work, all sorts of things done regularly, blogging, and it's going to go boom, and things are going to go in the top 10. Lots of keywords will go into the top 3, and this will happen within 90 days or less, and you'll begin to get happy relatively quickly. So that's for somebody that's got some sort of base established, and essentially Google already likes you well enough. They don't love you enough. You are where you deserve to be based upon how they've graded you. We do lots of detailed, skilled work on various things, which you can go into in lots of other videos and podcasts that we do. And again, design, content, social media. You do integrated work on your Google My Business account, Google Map postings, regularly changing content, deep dive authoritative blogging, tons of great content up front. It'll immediately get spidered and indexed for tons of stuff you never had before, and then tons of credit and credibility that you never had before. And then keywords will go just percolate and start to go. So you'll begin to see call volume relatively quickly in those cases. Now let's discuss somebody newer, because we get this a lot. There's tons of new ones that come. Had a guy call me that's in a town of 150,000, website up a year. He'll be great. It'll be okay. But you go into a brand new market, you're brand new, and you're going into market. So if it is 150, 200,000 or less, that one's going to end up costing you about 6 months to really get the primary keywords to start to pull up. It depends on how much you help out too. But remember what I said early on, don't hang on the most negative part. We're going to be able to get secondary keywords up like brands. We can probably get the brands up relatively quickly within 2 or 3 months, but they don't get as many clicks and calls as your primary keyword terms. but nonetheless, you'll be able to get these up. Parts replacement, things like that will work on, and that'll go up. That's one of the reasons we do that. If you're in a very competitive market of, let's say, over 1 million people, it's going to take you a year to get the primary keywords up. But again, we can get secondary keywords up. And why? Because so many quality things occur at one time, you're still going to get a good grade for it. And it's done much better than other websites. And very few people bothered to do, and all the different little keywords from thermostats and coil cleaning, parts replacement, types, brands, all that. If you have a really authoritative, great website done, then this content will work really well. So that is another thing that will work for you. If you're in a major market, you're going to have the same thing, just your primaries are going to take longer. Very important for you to participate in reviews and things like that, which we have an integrated module that'll give you a dashboard so you can text them direct links to Google and Facebook and stuff like that. So let's review it again. So what shows up and how fast? To some degree, doesn't matter what you have. If something's been being worked on for a year or more in a smaller market, it'll go well pretty quickly. You'll get, for your perspective, it'll go well. In a larger market, you might get a smaller piece of a larger pie, so your phone will ring more, but it goes well, and we have happy clients in towns of around 50,000, 30,000 even, all the way to millions. And so we have plenty of clients that get tons of response. In fact, we just had an HVAC company refer us to a plumber because they said they wouldn't refer them to another HVAC company because they didn't want them to use us because but they weren't even in the same town. But anyway, but we'll get referrals from stuff like that, and that guy's in a town of 1 million. And so that is, you can have this happen and have it work really well and bring in regular leads. Let's talk about that too, because people are always wondering, so what is regular call volume, Nolan? Well, a regular call volume to me depends on the market size, but if somebody just got a few calls starting out a day, they're pretty happy, or a call or something starts to come in, they're happy. But I've had people also start up that were relatively new, and I'm thinking about a guy in a town in California that had about 150,000 people in it. They had a heat wave this last year, and they got, 275 organic calls in one weekend the day after July 4th. It was a heat wave. Anybody in that part of California know what I'm talking about. But he got hordes and hordes of calls. So in HVAC, it goes that way. You can have tons of calls come in, especially when there's extraordinary weather events going on, either hot or cold. So that can happen on it. And I'll tell you something else that I've interesting about calls and how well they come in and leads. I've got clients that are new that get 20, 30 calls a month, all the way to 100 calls a month, all the way to hundreds in one weekend. And then I've got clients that have been around a long time that get hundreds of calls per month, but they might only get like 50 of them off a new, and they get 250 off of existing client base. And what's interesting about it, and a lot of you know this, the longer you're in business, the more repeat client base you get. So when you're new in business, the funnel pretty much just fills with your new clients. But as you get going, you've got this pool of people that are continually repeat client base, and then you're pouring in some new ones to keep everything going well, but you end up with just continually funneling new clients and repeat clients. So that's a nice thing about it as well. And I want to say something else too, because there's some other stuff in here. How long does it take for an HVAC website to rank? When we say rank, it's implied that it's SEO and organic. We're a full digital marketing agency, and we'll help you with paid ads too on Google and Facebook. As you get up organically, as you become dominant in your market, you do this because you're sending signals to Google that are authoritative, like custom design, content, regular work, and citations and domain authority, and even you work on social media reviews. As that goes up, that is consistent business all the time. A lot of you guys too have been in business, but you're not funneling that new business. This is how you do it. This is how you get started, and this is how you keep it going after you're going. You never want to not do this because of that. And I want to say something else about it. When people are new and they're wondering how long it's going to take to rank, so somebody in a new market's still going to get some calls, just not going to get them as fast if they're brand new to the market. and if they're aged a little bit, it'll go much faster, and you'll get more calls more quickly. In both cases, you'll get some calls to start out with, but you've got to keep doing this continually. Otherwise, you're spending your money in the wrong place. So people that are trying to rank are buying leads. They're frustrated about it. The leads are bogus. They sell them to multiple people. The lead itself isn't even any good, or they're paying for every click, and it's expensive. And so I can't tell you enough. I've done other videos and podcasts on this stuff. In order of what is the best return is always organic, and then paid or leads, and lastly like print and stuff like that. And so it's vital that you do this, and whatever you do, set aside some money to get your organic going. You may not like the fact that if you're new, it's going to take a little bit longer and the results are less, but if you don't do it, you're going to have a hard time getting a sustainable model for marketing. I hope you enjoyed it. As usual, we'd love to hear from you. If you have any questions, give us a call. And yeah, you can get some leads starting out pretty quickly. It'll grow. If you're new, it'll take longer. If your website's been up a while and you have a presence, it'll go much faster. So hope you enjoyed it, and we'll talk to you later.